Some good news for sports persons there, earning a living. But what about yourself? You've been looking into this, and perhaps this is your New Year's resolution. You're saying, okay, you know, I want to do something outside of my formal employment. I want to be able to do what I love. I want to wake up, do what I love, and let it pay me some money. So, how do you turn that passion into something profitable? Can you indeed? Some people say it's impossible. Well, Fridah Owinga disagrees, and she joins us now talking about that from passion to profit. And it really is amazing. I know we've talked about this before. Thank you for coming on Sunrise Live. So let's talk about passion. Can we even define that, you know, for just a minute? Because everybody says, you know, you ask someone, what are you passionate about? They think,
yes.
Okay, you know, not so sure. How would you describe one's passion?
First of all, thanks for having me here, Yvonne. It's great to be here. How I describe passion, or how we describe passion at Passion Profit, is that it's the joy and enthusiasm that comes from solving a problem. And the reason we say solving a problem, because oftentimes when we have asked people in our classes, what is passion, they have said that thing that they love doing for free. And the minute you say that thing that you love doing for free, it sets in a roadblock mentality that will cause you to feel this thing is easy, I shouldn't be charging for it, who would want to pay for it? And all those are self-sabotaging thoughts that will short-circuit your profit. So we say it's the joy and enthusiasm that comes from solving a problem. Because when you're helping me do something that I cannot do, you're solving my problem, and you deserve to get paid.
All right, absolutely. The joy that comes from solving a problem. So at what point did we have this association of passion, the thing that I love to do for free? How did we make that association between doing what you love and not sort of expecting to profit out of it?
I think as early as when we were growing up, because there are things that we are born with, there are talents that we are born with. I like using the example of cooking. There are people that love to cook, and every time the family gathers, they say, call so-and-so, they will cook, you know, and then it just became part of, you know, their lifestyle, that when the family is meeting, it's Jane who cooks. Like in our family, it's my sister Jane who cooks. You know, so we know that if we go to Jane's house, we'll pig out. But recently, I've been pushing her to use that cooking to, you know, make money. So because we've done that all along, and then it's easy for you, that you've done it all along, and it's easy. So you feel like every time somebody tells you, say, but it's easy. And some people say, it's therapy for me.
Right. So we've equated the fact that to make money out of something, it has to be hard and unpleasant and mostly unenjoyable most of the time.
Mostly unenjoyable, because we think of the job.
Yeah.
And job also doesn't have to be bad.
Right. Okay. Absolutely. So saying, fine, that this is what I do and I love to do it.
Yes.
Is it as easy for everybody to identify their passion? For some people, it's, you know I'm a techie person, or, you know, I'm into cooking, or, you know, public speaking, whatever it is. Is it easy for everybody to identify their passion?
Unfortunately, it's not easy for people, but I always say it's right under your nose. And the reason it's not easy for people is conditioning. Conditioning of school conditioning especially, and when you go to school, there are certain subjects that are considered inferior than others. So if you find that your passion is in an area of something that is not going to make a lot of money, and you know your parents have said if you do that you'll amount to nothing, then you kind of suppress it. We've had I can give you an example. We've had someone in class who came and they liked dancing, and they had gone to school as a nurse. And now she was suppressing this because she felt everybody will think I'm a joker, you know, that
yes.
I like dancing.
Right.
You know. But we encouraged her and we brought it out, and eventually she's starting dance classes with mothers that have had babies to help them lose weight.
Okay.
Yeah, so because of the conditioning, she was feeling like, you know, dancers are jokers. Not necessarily. We need dancers just as much as we need doctors and lawyers and all those other professions.
Okay, so this is something that is, for most of us, usually right under your nose. You probably don't realize it.
Yes.
So tell us about how you help one identify that passion. You know, the things that we think are common sense, the things that we think are usually aren't.
Yeah, true. How I help people, they need to come to the class. Okay, let me be serious. The first thing is, the first class we do is exploring your passion. And we have a toolkit that we use to help people think through as far back as they can What are some of the things that came easily to them? And then we look at their current life now. What is going on? What are some things that irritate them? Because it's not always the thing that you enjoy. Sometimes it's the thing that irritates you. If you don't like the way women dress, you probably have a solution to how they can dress better, so you can help them. And we can help you. And if it's something you really enjoy, you can match the colors. You can help people with their wardrobe and their makeup. You're probably an image consultant, and we can help you package that. So it's a toolkit, it's a process that we go through, and we help you define it and then see, is it something that will make profit, as in, is there a need in the society that you can solve with that passion?
Okay.
Yes.
Your passion and your career, are they always the same? For some people, yes?
Ideally, it should be the same, but again, conditioning. Okay, because you have people that, I'll give you an example of my son. He loves music, and I was trying to force him to be a journalist. So we have a New Year's resolution that, okay, go and do your music thing. Let's find out what kind of music things you can do and make money, so you won't be asking me for pocket money later. So ideally, they should, but again, conditioning. We tend to do the things that we feel, this is what will make you not look like a loser. And the reason I know it's conditioning, the people who have come to class, I had a lady who is an accountant, but all her life she wanted to be a doctor helping a gyna, you know. So what happened is she didn't get the right grade. She didn't get the right grade, so she wasn't able to go to medical school, or she had to go to parallel, and they couldn't afford it. So she went to become an accountant. And now she's older, and all she thinks about is helping women, especially those with infertility problems, and she has started doing it. And she came to my class because she wants to do it as a non-profit organization.
Okay, all right. So because of conditioning, it isn't always the same. It can be.
It can be.
Ideally, it should be.
Ideally, it should be. I say that.
All right. So discovering that, and so you find yourself in perhaps the wrong career path, or shall we say doing, you know, what your parents said, you must be a teacher, a lawyer, doctor, engineer, or an accountant. So the steps you take towards doing your passion, can you do it at the same time as you know, handling your day job, shall we say?
Okay, the day job thing, that should be your day job, Yvonne.
Yeah.
Why do you want to do two things?
Right. And how do you handle the transition then? Once
okay,
you come up and say, I don't want to be here on TV, I want to do something.
Once you discover that you're not on the job, that your ideal job, then we help you with an exit strategy. The first thing, because the first thing is coming to class is an 8-week process, and then we work with you for 12 months. During those 12 months, we help you start you know, the first thing is to find out how you're spending your time and how you're spending your money. I don't encourage people to just cut off the job. No matter how bad the job is and how much you want to start a business, after the job, life continues and there's still bills on the other side. So this job is helping something. So it's important to save up some money, know what to do with your time, because some people say, oh, I want to quit because I want to spend more time on my business. I don't have enough time on my business. But what are you doing with your time right now? So most of it involves doing a time audit to see where your time is going, a money audit to see how you can stash up some money, because you will need money on the other side, and then start doing the business in small pieces in a way that will not affect your current employer. And then also you're getting your feet wet and seeing, is this really what I want to do, as opposed to sitting behind the desk or whatever it is I'm doing at the office. And then it helps you get a smoother transition into doing your business full time.
Okay, all right. Passion is something that is talked a lot about with the youth, and they say, you know, I want to do this and I want to do that. And, you know, parents sometimes not quite understanding that. Would you say that's the way to go in terms of entrepreneurship for young persons?
Not really, because for me, I feel that entrepreneurship is not a personality. It's not something to choose that I'd better do entrepreneurship than go to work. There are people that will be entrepreneurs. There are people that will not, because we'll always need people working anyway. And I try to tell youth especially that there's no good and bad. You're not better off if you have your own business than if you're employed.
So you can have your passion in formal employment, and as an entrepreneur, because I think we always think something that I'm passionate about is my business, and there's lots of Kenyans who say, I'm not, you know, I'm not a businessman or businesswoman.
Yes, I've had people, and I've had talks with people who told me, Fridah, I never want to start a business. I just want to be somebody's CEO in a big organization. And there's nothing wrong with that. So I think the first thing is our mentality. The youth first need to understand, what do they want? Who do they want to be? If all things were perfect, where would they be? And then develop a game plan to get there. As opposed, because some of the things they're imagining that if they own their business, they will be doing, they're not even equipped for it. So a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. So find out first, sit down and think through, what do you want to become? And what are you willing to do to become that? Because it's going to take time. And I feel that as a youth, if you can get work, it's important to work, get experience, develop relationships, work under somebody and understand. I've had somebody who I'm mentoring who's a interior designer. He did architectural something at the university, and he really, really wanted to step out and do it. And I encouraged him because he's still young. I said, if you can get a job, get the job. And then work under someone, understand how the work does, understand the systems and the structure, and then later you will have your own business. Give yourself 5 years, for instance, and it's so much happier for it.
Okay, so passion we've described as doing what you love and solving people's problems at the same time. Are there moments when it's not so much fun?
Of course.
Because, we have the impression that every day you wake up and it's just go, 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 and you're on this constant high.
I wish. The first thing people have, the first 18 to 36 months, you may not have a salary because all the money is going back into the business, depending on how much money you had to start with. Very few banks will loan you money. Very few investors will give you money because they want to see what you have done with your own money, and is this thing really needed? How much sales have you made? So the first months are lots and lots of hard work. You'll sacrifice going out and just having a good time. All the pictures they show us, entrepreneurs lying on the beach, those entrepreneurs that have made it. And yes, one day we will lie on the beach, but not the first day. Yeah. And sometimes when people are, on public holidays, we go to work. Sometimes I work on Sunday. So it's not always a high, but the thing is you're doing something you love. Okay. That's the big difference.
All right. And even when there's no money flowing in, I mean, are there times when even as you go through your passion and you're doing what you love, the money aside, are there days, you have good days, bad days, just like a job, you wake up and today and you're just thinking, no, I don't want to do this. And there are days when you're so pumped up for it. Is that a fallacy, perhaps, that people need to be aware of going into pursuing their passion?
Yeah, that is life. The days you wake up happy, the days you'll wake up down, but you have to keep pressing through. So it's not happy every day unless you're high on something.
But passion is a risk.
Of course, even working is a risk. They'll downsize tomorrow and get rid of you. Life is a risk. So you can't afford to say, well, I'm going to sit in this job and not take a risk or not try, because if you don't try, you'll never know. I think it's a worse prison to be in.
Do you think there are times, do you think that people who ever go through life, their entire life, and that life ends without ever discovering what they're passionate about?
I believe there are, based on what I've read by Miles Monroe, that the graveyard is the richest place, because there are some people who go through life fearing, and there's some people who go through life allowing the conditioning that they have experienced to guide what they're going to do. And even right now, the people you'll meet and say that, I've been thinking of doing this. And the next year you meet them, they're still thinking of doing it. And the next year they're still thinking of doing it. They're not growing any younger. And as they're thinking of doing it, somebody will rise up and do it. And then they'll say, I thought about that so many years ago. Thinking about it doesn't qualify you. It is doing.
Right. There's a lot of people who would say, oh, this is all very bubblegum. And this is all very, utopia kind of thinking. Give us some examples, or perhaps tell us why this is so important, finding your passion and being able to turn that into profit. And we'll talk about now the basics and the hard work of turning that into profit. But some will say, oh, this is all very bubblegum talk.
Well, everything you do, there are people who come along and say it's bubblegum talk. So you have to believe in yourself, what it is you want to do and what it is you want to achieve. I believe that the happiest life one can live is living, doing what you enjoy, going to bed knowing that you touch somebody's life with what you're confident about, as opposed to going to bed and wondering, is this really the place I need to be? So I think that living your passion is the highest kind of life. It's connected to your purpose. You'll make more impact, because it comes a time when it's not really about the money. You're having fun and you're seeing lives changing. when I was out yesterday and somebody came and greeted me, I had no idea who they are, and they said they follow me on Twitter. And I was like, really? And I was even getting embarrassed because saying, I follow you on Twitter, I love what you do, you're such an inspiration, I listen to you, you know. So that alone makes me feel, wow, this man has never paid me any money. But I went to bed like, thank you, Lord, for my calling.
Okay. The calling aside now, you know, money is important. You know, we need to eat, we need to live, we need to pay
Absolutely.
bills. Wherever you are, by the way, you know, a lot of people say, oh, you know, you only need to pay, Nairobi is expensive. Try living in very many other parts of this country. Yes. Go to New York, go to Kisumu, go to Eldoret, and very many parts of this country. Money is needed.
Yes.
Fine. So let's get to the hard bit now. So you discover your passion is X.
Okay.
So now, what are the steps you take towards now actually practicing that and that earning you money?
Okay. I use the acronym PASSION to kind of walk us through that. And the first thing is P for passion. The P is you have to learn to be persuasive. Most of the times you find that people, young entrepreneurs, people that are starting, or business owners, let me not even call them entrepreneurs, young business owners are so eager to get a sale, they're normally just kind of forcing it down your throat. They don't listen to the customer. So in being persuasive, you need to listen to the customer, understanding that the world has been before you a good idea. There must be somebody else doing it. So you need to find out, why is Yvonne using X's service, and how can I convince her to use mine? So it takes a lot of listening and asking questions. So that's a skill that one must learn as an entrepreneur or business owner. So that I'm not just telling you, yeah, you need to try mine, it's cheaper, it's better. What makes it better? But when I listen to you why you use the other one, then I may see the gaps of the other company and tell you why mine is better. So number one, you need to be persuasive. Number two, you need to have what I call, the A is for attitude and aptitude. A yes I can attitude is very good, but without aptitude you won't go very far.
That's right. Look in the mirror every morning and say, I can do this, I can do this.
Excellent.
Not enough.
But now you need to go and find out, what other skills do you need? Yes, I know I love to cook, my family loves my cooking, but is there a place that I can go and learn to cook some more? Maybe I'm not a people person, I just like interacting with the things in the kitchen.
Right.
How can I learn how to communicate? How do I get a good name? Because a lot of people come and tell me, oh, I'm going to start a business. In fact, I've gone to Sharia House, I've registered a company. And I always ask them, what is the name of the company? And they tell me a name I can't pronounce. And I say, okay, how did you come up with that name?
Right.
I say, my child's name starts with P, and my husband, I don't know.
It up together.
Yeah, and my favorite brother. And I'm like, okay. And I tell people, your business is not about you. You need to have a name that will be appealing to your customers. So in the area of aptitude, how to name your business, how to market, how to brand yourself, how to brand your, whatever it is you're going to be selling, how to make the money, and big part, networking. Because a lot of people say, I'm not a salesperson, I'll just hire a marketing department. You don't have money to get a marketing department from day one, and you're the best salesperson of your product. And then next we go to S. The first S is you have to be strategic. You can't just spin your wheels every day. And in being strategic, we help people to for lack of a better word, to develop a soul for their business. What is your vision? What do you want to achieve? Why does your organization exist? Okay, so developing a soul for your business and then coming up with a game plan. Okay, what are your projections? Some people just spin their wheels and they're happy. Today money has come, someone paid me my M-Pesa. I have money, Yvonne, let's go for coffee.
Yes.
It's not your money.
That's right.
Have a separate account.
Yes.
Take it to the bank. Start developing a relationship with the bank. And a lot of time people are thinking, all I need is a business plan and the bank will give me money. Wrong. All you need is have a plan to get clients and make sales, because if there are no sales, there's no money. The next S is stickability. Be willing to stick with it. Because
yes,
it's going to be hard.
Yes.
And you'll be thinking, maybe I shouldn't have quit my work. Many people who come to me that want to quit, they're below the 18-month mark. This is maybe just a year and they think they want to quit. This thing is not giving them as much money as they wanted. And I asked them, how much money did you want? I just wanted more. What is more? I said, you're being unfair to the business.
Yes.
You haven't told it how much you want.
Yes.
And now you want to quit on it.
Right.
So go and find out how much you want and what you're willing to do. Then I asked them, who have been your clients? Say friends and family. Those are not your clients. Those are just people who love you and are feeling
And
sorry for you.
support
Go
and
out there and
you.
find your clients before you quit.
Yes.
Yeah, so you have to be willing to stick with it
Yeah.
through thick and thin. Whether it rains, you go out for the event, for the networking. Because you know when it rains, people are worried.
Yeah.
Will people show up or not show
Yes.
up? Show up.
Right.
So stick with it.
Okay.
And then be innovative. Being innovative is not getting 100% new idea. If you can, good for you. But the idea is what is needed and how can you be at least 10% better at doing it, 10% faster at producing it, and just be look for 10% in every area
Okay.
of the of the business.
As compared to the competition?
As compared to the competition,
Right.
absolutely. And that puts you on the other edge. What we do is just copy. People come to my class and say, somebody sent me to your class and they're really bugging me. They want your curriculum. They want your, they want this or they want the other. But they don't have the soul of my business, even if they copy it. Anyway,
Right.
so be innovative.
Okay.
And then number 6, be an opportunist. An opportunist in this.
Yeah, I'm hoping
You look
have.
shocked.
Yeah, I'm thinking, okay, but I'm listening. Open mind.
Good for you. Being an opportunist, the way I describe it at Passion Profit, is being able to spot opportunities. For instance, I use cooking again. When I tell people I don't like cooking, and I know now people will ask me, why did you say that on national TV? I don't like cooking. All right. They say, people come and tell me, Fridah, I'll teach you how to cook.
Yeah.
The people will tell me, Fridah, you're a lady, you shouldn't say that around guys. I say, they need to know, I don't like to cook. Okay, then one lady was very clever. She asked me, Fridah, why don't you like to cook? Notice I didn't say, I don't know how to cook. So he said, I told her, I hate chopping stuff. It wastes so much time in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So she said, if I chopped stuff for you, would you cook? I said, absolutely.
Yeah.
So now she makes money because once a week she chops onions and tomatoes and stuff for me and puts it in my fridge.
So
and when
she's
I want to
found the
cook,
opportunity.
she found the opportunity.
Right.
So oftentimes, because things are easy for us, when we hear somebody saying it's hard for them, we're like, you're just lazy. No, that's an opportunity.
Ask
Find
why.
out why and how you can help them. And then sometimes we help them for free, and then we start, they're not even paying me, I'm so tired of helping them. No, so learn to listen for opportunities. And finally, be a networker. And networking is not going out for events and passing out your business cards. A lot of new business owners think that. If they hear there's an event, they have
They're
all
there,
their business
and they
cards.
dish out the
and
cards,
they dish out,
or, put them on the table. Yes.
Stop wasting cards. Networking is cultivating business relationships. Once you have, remember we talked about being strategic, having a plan, who are the kinds of people you want to meet? What are the kinds of people you can add value to and can add value to you? Go to the places where they are, strike a conversation with them, get to know them before you exchange a business card. They will remember you, you will remember them. After the networking event, call them for a cup of coffee and continue to develop that relationship. People do business with people they like. If you see me enough times, hear me enough times, maybe I throw you a freebie here or there, then you'll remember me when you need my work. So be a networker. So there we have it in a nutshell, the hard work.
Just say that again. People do business
With people they like,
Right,
whether
okay.
we like that or not.
Networking, maybe a lot of people don't understand it, but I do know it's a very difficult thing for most people to do. I don't have the money to go out places and buy people coffee. Just give us some tips on how that is done. And like you said, a lot of us think, oh, Fridah, nice to meet you, here's my card, and
I'll
then
put
you
it in
walk
my
away.
pocket.
Yes.
And go. And I'm not being bad.
Yes.
Now, the first thing I said, going in with the mentality that you're going to develop a relationship. But before you ever go in, you need to know, who do I want to develop relationships with and what kinds of places do they go? Remember we talked about being strategic. In being strategic, you have to understand that networking is part of your marketing strategy. If you're not strategic about it, you'll waste lots of money. So before you go, you want to know, what is the event about? Who is going to be there? And then you show up. When you arrive, you want to have a target. How many people do I want to meet at this event? So if I normally say 5, because after that I'm worn out. Okay, and I'll make sure I speak to at least 5 people, let them know what I do. You must have your, what we call it, your elevator pitch or your 60-second infomercial. The big question when they ask you, what do you do? Don't answer, I'm a marketer, I'm an accountant. So what? Okay, what do you market?
Yes.
What is good about you being an accountant?
Okay.
Because there are plenty of those out there.
Yeah.
So you want to describe it in a way that will pique my interest. Like I'm a business coaching consultant. But when people ask me, what do you do? I tell them I help people turn their passion into profit. They say, really? Because everybody has a passion, and they start stories.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about starting this. I like putting makeup on people. You say, why don't you come to my office?
Yes.
We exchange cards.
Right.
They'll remember me, I'll remember them.
Right.
Okay? So, and then the big thing people normally ask is, what do we do after the event with the cards?
Yes.
That's why you can't go around collecting so many. You won't know what to do with them. But if you collected cards from people that you made a rapport with, you send them an email. And please don't put on the email, my business profile, the services we offer. That's not a friendly way of getting to me after you've met me one time.
Yes.
So you have on your subject line, nice meeting you. And they say it was nice meeting you at XYZ event. And because we had a rapport, I might remember a joke or something you said. And then if you're somebody that we can add value to each other, I'll ask you, it would be nice to have coffee to explore, you know, how maybe we can do some more business together.
Okay.
When would be a good time for you? And then you list some, you know, time options for yourself when you can meet them. For me, Tuesday and Wednesday, these times will work. If those times don't work, let me know what works for you. Because this one that Nairobians say, we need to drink coffee, we need to drink tea. If there's no date attached to it, it's not happening.
Right, and I like that, of having that subject line, you know, was nice to meet you. You know, because immediately you said that, I was imagining myself reading such an email. I think, oh, okay, that's nice. As opposed to my business profile where you sit and think, do I really have the time for this?
They'll just scroll down. You know how there's so much email? They'll scroll down to the next interesting thing.
So here's another thing that people think networking is. And not to knock persons that, you know, go out in the clubbing scene, but a lot of us think it has to be in a club type, in a bar type, and alcohol has to be involved. Oh, we're networking.
But alcohol is dangerous, depending on how you behave after you drink alcohol.
Is that wise to have alcohol around an area where you are networking and you're, you know, trying to pitch yourself?
Okay, I kind of like Mutuzo.
Don't worry, it's your
I kind of side with Mutuzo. Alcohol is dangerous when you're networking, because we all know that when people drink a little bit too much, they talk too much. And when you're networking, you want to give your best first impression. So if you're drunk and you're talking too much and you're slurring your words, how will I remember you? That's how I will remember you. So it's very important to remember, how do you want to be remembered? What is the perception you want to create without lying to these people? And then behave that way. If you feel you can control your alcohol intake and alcohol makes you relax a little bit so that you can talk better, good for you. But what I've known is that most people who drink misbehave. I haven't seen people who drink and behave well, so I'd avoid alcohol.
Okay, speaking of networking now, and I think this is a very important step in terms of getting people on board with your idea.
Yes.
We tend to, you know, exaggerate a little bit. You know, we're new. And we're looking for people to like us. So sometimes we tend to pitch over, just, you know, just a little bit to embellish that. Are we allowed to do this? To what extent?
We are not allowed.
You know, are we, you know, you say, let's see, I'm a marketer. Which big companies have you worked with? Well, a few small ones, but, you know, I'm on the way to getting one. And you know full well that you're not. But, you know, it's impressions. Some people would say in business. What do you think?
False impressions are dangerous, Yvonne, because if you give a false impression and you can't uphold it, then you will crumble. So it's very important to be, I don't know what word to use.
Truthful?
Truthful, absolutely truthful. But because sometimes people say that when people come out and say they're networking and maybe they've just started their business, the reason I was halting with truthful, I don't want them to lie.
Yeah.
But there's no need of coming to a networking meeting and saying that, oh, my name is Fridah. I just recently started a small business here of, you know, of catering, and we're looking for you to make your lunches for you. The two things. One say, I just recently started, and a small business. Already you have made your business so small, and you have recently started. I'm like, I don't want to be your guinea pig.
But
so
you know,
there are words that you can avoid. Okay. Let me say that, choose the words you use, but don't lie.
Okay.
Okay? I'm a caterer. The fact that I'm a caterer, I'm not. I'm just using an example.
Yeah, okay.
The fact that I'm a caterer is a sign that I have cooked for people. People have complimented me. I like doing this thing. I may have cooked for free, but I do have some experience under my belt for catering. So when I come out, I should be confident. I am from XYZ Catering Farm. We do XYZ lunches, and, you know, if you have board meetings or whatever, we can, you know, we can deliver it, and we're always on time. Focus on what you can do.
Okay. All right.
Okay. And remember, we are developing a relationship. So if you lie, they will find out down the line, and it will hurt you.
That's right. Yes. So choosing the words carefully. I like that. Not necessarily talking about how small you are, because
Forget
we
how
are.
Small you are. We all start small.
We all start small, and most people are thinking, oh, you know, I don't want to be involved in something like that. So important to choose the words well.
Yes.
Okay.
And that, you see, that's part of the process. Remember when you talked about you need attitude and aptitude, because in our class we teach you how to do your 60-second infomercial. What are the words you need? And we have been with you. We know how long you have been in business, or how long you have worked or done this thing for free. So we use those words to create your profile and create your 60-second infomercial.
Okay. And speaking about that, I'd like to talk about the challenges that a passionpreneur, and I like that, how you created that name. Let's talk about the challenges, because there are going to be challenges. Is our Kenyan environment hostile to persons seeking their passion?
I really hope that I don't even know which department can help the SMEs, but it is hostile. It is hostile in that I lived in the US. I could register people's business for them from my bedroom on my computer. In Kenya, I dread going to Sharia house, because you go with the name, and one day they'll say it's fine, the other day they'll insist you have to add concepts, or you have to add something at the end. You know, it's like they live to make your life hard. And then you go, the file can't be found. And then you go, somebody, you know, your file can be found, but a little money will bring your file, or a little money can allow you to have the name you want. It is hostile. Then comes our wonderful city council people. You know, there's no one place that you can go that these are the 100 things you need to be a good business person in Kenya.
Right.
They just come and ask you, do you have this? And woe unto you if you don't have it.
Yes.
20,
Exactly.
you know, so much pressure. So people want to follow the rules, but there's no one clear place where all these rules are, and then
so that you know what's expected of you and you fulfill each one of those requirements.
And people feel that if I go and ask them, they'll know I exist, and there's a lot of fear, you know. So I think that is one of the biggest challenge, that our system is not helping us to develop these organizations and be happy about being a business owner. People think about KRA and they're like, oh my God, they'll come get me, you know. The care is not bad, they're just doing their job, but we need to understand what is our responsibility towards them. So I think that is one of the biggest challenges. And then of course the next challenge is normally finances, but I believe that when it comes to finances, it's just lack of planning. Jumping into a business without thinking it through, how much money it will need, what it will take, and then quitting your job or whatever form of income that you had. And then also people wanting to start big. Okay, I've had somebody who came and said they needed 20 million to start a business. And I was like, okay, tell me about the business.
Yes.
And when we came down to it, I was like, you can get a smaller amount, and you can even get a small asset loan with your salary and start smaller, and even try and see if this is something that will work, as opposed to trying to get someone to give you 20 million. There's nobody out there who will give you 20 million on an untested idea. Okay. That is one thing people just need to get out of their minds.
Right. Okay.
So those are some of the challenges I would think of.
Okay. Of course, getting educated on it is very important. It doesn't come naturally. I think we've talked about parenting doesn't come naturally, and people do need some help along the way. What are some of those key things that people need to get themselves educated on as they pursue their passion?
One thing, our passion normally is a technical skill, so we need to sharpen that. If you're a speaker, find out where you can speak better. And I want to be careful how I say this. Sometimes people feel that, you know, getting more education or sharpening your skill is going to get a degree. It's not necessarily that. It could be a personal development program. It could be a book. It could be something online, you know, a class online that you need to take. So number one is, once you know what your technical skill is, what are the other surrounding skills that you'll need? Every business needs knowledge of, you know, what kind of legal structure will you need. So in our class, we have a class called Legal Matters. And then coming up with a good name and branding, developing the soul of your business, because you're going to have this name forever. Is it a name that you'll be happy to say, my company is www.thatname.com? Is it a name that people can pronounce? Is it a name that is appealing to your target audience? Okay, because sometimes we choose a name and then after a while we're like, I want to have a wider target audience than that, and then now you get into the, the problem of trying to rebrand and doing stuff like that. Sales and marketing. Yes, when they want, you'll have a big marketing department, but before you do that, you need to know how to sell. You need to know how to market. You need to know how to network. Like we're talking about networking, it's a skill that we need to learn. I found that most people who are starting business in Kenya believe that going to Sharia house and getting a business name is enough. They say, why do I need to go to school? Why do I need to get anything else? You only have a technical skill, and technical skill is not enough.
Right.
Statistics show that businesses that people go into with just technical skill, they barely last beyond the 3rd year. So invest some money in getting better at what you do and learning what are the other business skills are. You need systems and structures. Most people think of systems and structure when the business is growing bigger. It's like deciding, okay, I want this building to be 5 floors and we have started at ground level only. You're kind of late.
Yes, because the foundation's already structured just for one floor.
Yeah, so it's very important at the foundation, decide it's going to be 10 floors, it's going to be 1 floor. What are the systems that need to be put in place? Work those systems before people start coming in. By the time they're looking for systems and structure, they have maybe 10 employees who have a culture of their own. So imagine going in there and trying to change that culture. That's more work, more money.
Okay. Absolutely. Your final thoughts today and advice. There's a lot of people who, and it's still the month when we make New Year's resolutions. Remember, most of us haven't received the January pay. So it's saying, my salary is not enough. I need to do something else, and I need to complement that income, and I need to do something that I'm passionate about. And even the young people, as they look to political parties now and, to the elections now and saying, oh yeah, they will give us the jobs.
50 bob.
50 bob. There you go.
All you'll get.
All you'll get. And you could definitely get so much more from doing something that you love doing. And hopefully that's not heckling. So just give us your final words on that, on seeking your passion, on making that the plan for the year.
One thing, just take time to reflect and sit back and think, if all things were perfect, where would I be? What would I be doing? Where would I live? What would I drive? What would I eat? And just write it down without worrying about where will the money come from. And once you finish writing that down, not just dreaming about it, rise up and decide what are the specific steps you're going to do to achieve it, because it is achievable. This year I've been telling people, refuse to live the half-loaf life. And the half-loaf life is where you just go through life thinking half a loaf is better than none. And I say you either have a full loaf or you have none. You have to learn to live to your fullest potential. Refuse to live the half-life. Then decide what you're going to do. Once you decide, this is the life I want, these are the baby steps I'm going to take, and start taking the action.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for that, Fridah. Her Twitter handle is @passionpreneur.
Yes.
You can find that. We've been tweeting about that all through this morning. Some wise lessons about networking, about just, getting your act together and deciding, yes, come on, you deserve everything. You deserve the best of everything. Fridah, it's always a pleasure having you with us. We will definitely have you more and more this year. To be able to talk about finding your passion and how you can do that. Now, it's not all about the bubblegum talk. You do need to walk the talk. And so we'll be giving you details on how you can do that. That's been Fridah Owinga with us, Passion Prophet, talking about that and how you can make sure that you make the most of that. So I hope we've been able to. But before we go, I would like the opportunity to be able to just read some of your tweets today. Remember our question of the day. We had asked you what you think of the Karua Lotodo candidature. Is it one that would work? Is it one that would propel this country forward? Has your opinion changed following our discussion with Augustine Lotodo, who's Martha Karua's running mate? There's an interesting one here. Let's take a look at that. Philip Kimani, you say Kenyans don't want sobriety, the middle class does. Kenyans want noise and panganga. Okay, that is an interesting take, but it is your opinion. Matthews Oleogutu, you say you hope Lotodo will also declare his wealth as Martha Karua has done. So Charles, you say, I find Lotodo more of an intellect than a politician. He needs to up his game. And Soko Analyst, you are relishing a debate between Ronnie Osumba Lotodo and Winnie Kaburu of RBK. That would be interesting indeed. We'll see if we can sort of get that together. Let's also get another one here. Fridah Owinga, you disagree with Lotodo's admiration of Kagame. You say Lotodo's admiration of Kagame suggests that he is fine with curtailing civic liberties for purposes of development. We also have another one here. I think I was able to read those. Oh yeah, there's Noel Baraka who says, success comes from choice, not by chance. As Karua's running mate, which wind is sailing your ship? Let's just go to our SMS line in just a moment now. You say, let's see, Augustine, I know you very well and have confidence in what you say. You are the kind of persons that we need to form a government. That's Mulumba, watching us all the way in Kapenguria. This one, another one says, I'm disappointed because he was not as convincing as compared to his the president. That's well, the person who will be running for president. That's Martha Karua. Okay. Another one, Caleb Sang from Eldoret says, Mr. Lotodo, surely you are saying you have been in every county in Kenya but have not seen you. Now that you're the running mate of Karua, we need you to have representatives here. Never assume because of the other parties ruling. All right, those are your thoughts on our topic today. Thank you so much for engaging with us. I thank Augustine Lotodo for making the time. I thank Fridah Owinga as well for making the time to be with us this morning. Remember, you can keep the discussion going on. We will be focusing on the issues and not just in politics, but issues in general life that help you, and that is what we are all about right here on Sunrise Live. So you are getting out, you're going onto the roads, you prepare to start your day, and you're thinking the roads in Kenya are bad. Well, think about this for a moment. Eritrea, Egypt, and Libya are number 1 and number 2 and number 3 respectively with the world's most dangerous roads. You thought Kenya was bad? Think again. That's your Sunrise Fact. Have a good one. My name is Yvonne Okwara. We will see you again tomorrow at 6 a.m.